then you go live and then you see what happens.
So live.
Ek is inderdaad. Het vat gewoonlik so 'n minuut of 2 voordat al mense begin deurkom, so. Welcome to TikTok Live. Have fun interacting with your viewers in real time. Creators must be 18 or older. Yes. Viewers must be 18 or older to recharge and send gifts. Ooh, remember to create a safe viewing experience by following our community guidelines. Is dit wat mense sien aan hulle kant?
Ja.
Okay. So as jy nou daar so sit, sien jy dan ook soos dinge opkom?
Ja.
Questions en sulke goeders.
Yes.
Good evening, Stormy. Akuna, good evening, good evening. Rowan Carlos, good evening, my good man. How are you doing? David Morema, good evening, sir. Noni, how's it? Who's there? Ladies and gentlemen, you know how it works on a Tuesday night by now. Good evening, Janine. You know how it works by now. You ask questions, I try and answer them and see if I can help you with your financial knowledge. Deirdre, good evening and welcome to you. Ladies and gents, I'm going to be honest with you. I might not have the full hour tonight. I'm in Cape Town on business and I'm doing this in between all the other stuff that I have to do. So I might just leave a bit early tonight. So if you want to get your questions in, make it quick. The quicker the better. Good evening, Magena and Motso Cheskinloch. Nice name. Rairi. How's it, Rairi? Let's see. Couple of people coming in, people going out. No questions yet, but that's perfect. We will see what happens as we go along. Matandas, good evening and goodbye. That was quick. So let's see. I've got 7 people here. I've got no questions yet. So I'm just going to fall away and tell you something quickly with regards to investments. I've had a lot of people, not a lot of people, quite a number of people that says, I want to invest in this specific portfolio, but I can't do it because I'm invested with Alan Gray and they don't have this fund from Investec or 99, whatever the case might be. There is just such a magnitude of unit trusts and portfolios out there that the investment companies can't have all the funds on their platforms. It's impossible for them to do that. And they negotiate with every company's portfolios that they add on. They negotiate with them a specific fee as to what we will pay you and what we will charge in order to have your portfolio on our platform. So more important than having access to all the portfolios that are available out there is to pick a strategy that works for you. If you pick a strategy and let's say your strategy is that you want medium high risk, as long as you go and pick portfolios in a medium high risk profile and a portfolio manager that you trust and that has a track record, you will accomplish your goals. So don't get too hung up, okay? Don't get too hung up with, I wanted to be invested in the Zebra Fund. And now you can't do the Zebra Fund because you are investing through Sanlam and they don't have the Zebra Fund on their platform. They will have the Donkey Fund and the Pig Fund and the Cow Fund, which will all be pretty similar. And unless it's a really bad company, management company, you will be doing okay. So that was just quickly. Bethel from Pretoria, good evening, sir. How's it going? Hey, Rowan, lekker om jou te sien, meneer. Retirement, your advice in a nutshell. Deirdre, when you say my advice in a nutshell, I'm not 100% sure what you mean. But when it comes to retirement, save as much as possible. You will always want to have more than less. I always say to people, I have never met a client that's complained that he has too much capital when he retires. but I listen to people on a daily basis complaining that they don't have enough to retire with. So save, save, save. It is fantastic and wonderful if you've got a good portfolio structure where you can benefit from tax benefits, best possible growth, all of those things. But at the end of the day, even for somebody that does not know how to put a proper portfolio together, if you just go and save enough that when you get to retirement, that you've got enough, you're not going to care about the tax implications, you're not going to care about how much growth you got, you're only going to care about one thing. I've got enough. I'm okay. I'm going to survive. I'm going to have enough of an income and I'm going to leave a legacy to my family. So, Deirdre, that is maybe retirement advice in a nutshell, maybe not what you're looking for, but if you can be a bit more specific, I'll try and give you a more specific answer. Okay. Mbov, on divorce payments, whose tax bracket is used for calculations? So in terms of that, you most probably be talking about the pension funds here, about you getting 50% and your ex-spouse getting 50%. The tax bracket that is used is for that person that's actually withdrawing the capital. So let's say you are getting divorced. Mbov, I am going to assume that you are a woman. You are divorcing from your husband, you're getting 50% of your husband's pension fund money. Then when you withdraw that 50%, you will be taxed on your tax rate. Okay. Never a good thing to do. Rather take the money, transfer it into a preservation fund. Make sure that you've got enough for your retirement. One of the saddest things is the amount of people that withdraw money because I need the capital to pay off debts, or I need the money because I'm going to do this, or I'm going to buy that. It's normally stuff that you don't need. It is normally a big tax implication that hurts you in terms of how much you get out. And the biggest problem is when you get to retirement, that money is gone and you can't show anything for it. I've never seen anybody that bought a car after they told me, but they need this car, who is after 1 year still in the opinion that they needed the car. And especially when you get to retirement, then suddenly you know, or you realize that you never needed that car. It was a nice car, nice to have, but what you need is the capital to survive on. Okay, so there we go. Bethul Kutuma. Am I pronouncing that right? Bethul Kutama. There we go. Good evening to you, sir. And so we carry on, and there was, let's see, did I miss anything? At this stage, I'm not seeing anything that I missed. So far, so good. The divorce thing is coming up on a more regular basis. The one thing that people don't realize is that when you are married in community of property, or you are married with an anti-nuptial contract, and that contract can be with or without accrual. And people think and believe that because I am married like that, when I get divorced, it is automatic that everything gets split based on the way that we are married, be that in community of property or be that in an anti-nuptial contract. It actually very seldom happens like this. And when I say very seldom happens like this is because the two parties normally have to negotiate with each other as to what they want and what they're going to get out of this divorce. And I've seen it on a number of occasions that lots of time is spent, lots of money is used, because you're sitting with two parties here going through a divorce, and both of them got lawyers, and they look at the contract and they say, okay, according to the contract, my client should get X, Y, and Z. And the other attorney on the other hand says, no, my client, because they're married like this, must get A, B, and C. And those two are never the same. And then the negotiation starts, and the fight starts, and everything. And it takes a long time to then finalize the divorce, and it costs a lot of money. So if you've got a pension fund, for example, it's not automatic that your ex is going to get 50% of that. You can actually negotiate to say, listen here, I don't want to give you any of my pension fund money, but in lieu of the pension fund, I'd rather give you the house or something to that effect. So you determine what you are going to get from a divorce by negotiation. Make it easier on yourself. We all hate the idea of getting divorced, but if you are going to get divorced, or if you're in the process of getting divorced, make it easy on yourself. Go and sit, discuss it, and then get to a conclusion, get to a final answer as to what you are both satisfied with. So that when you then go to the lawyers, you can basically just tell them, this is what we want. Do it as easy and quick as possible and save yourself a lot of money. Okay, Madonna, good evening. I'm sure it's not the Madonna I know from the 80s. Hebron Tembenkosi, good evening, sir. Russell the Love Muscle joined. How's it, Russell the Love Muscle? Fantastic day, brother. Fantastic day. Let's see. Okay, that was on divorce. Folks, I must say it's a very quiet evening tonight. I don't know if everybody feels like me, that this week just started too quickly. But yeah, I see there's very few questions tonight in comparison to previous evenings. So it seems like I might just have an early evening. Kefi, good evening. Nice to see you. What else is there that I can tell you? It's weird that with these live events, I've never actually prepared anything. I've never prepared a specific subject that I want to talk to anybody about. And it's just so happened that every time that we do have the lives, there's a lot of people with a lot of different questions. So tonight feels a bit awkward in that there's not many questions, and I don't really know what to say. So next time I will know. I will come prepared next time with a couple of subjects ready to discuss in the event that it is a bit of a quiet evening like tonight. Any case, let's see. Anybody else? I think I should start a countdown here. Go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. And if there's no questions, then just say goodbye. There's Chris. Chris says, also on the boards. What's that? Let me have a look at that. Also on the boards. My mother got a degree. Okay. Gee whiz. No, there's too many subjects there. Okay. I'll have a look at that now. Let's answer Chris quickly. Also on the boards, my mother got a degree and submitted the papers to GPF. How long? Chris, this is the weirdest question ever. I don't know what you're talking about. My mother got a degree and submitted the papers at GPF. How long doesn't it take? I don't know how long doesn't it take what. And if you're talking about GPF, decree. Oh, a divorce decree. I am sorry. Sorry, Chris. I'm terribly sorry. Well, my apologies. Also, a divorce decree. Submitted the papers to GPF. How long does it take? I would assume. So how long does it take for them to pay out? So, Chris, I would think that it would take the same amount of time that it would normally take somebody that that goes into retirement, which is normally about 4 to 6 weeks. It all depends on how quick the administration is in the back office, how quickly they can get the SARS, the SARS clearances. And then, of course, because it is a legal matter, sometimes there's a bit more. So I would say 4 to 6 weeks. But I must be honest with you. There has been times and there has been occasions that I know of that it's taken more like 3 to 6 months. So don't take my word for it and as definitely 4 to 6 weeks. It is unfortunately so that as soon as something like this, a divorce decree comes through, there is more checks or balances that needs to be done. The pricing of the pension fund is more intricate. So yes, it shouldn't take too long, 2 months, but I won't be surprised if it does take longer. I know that doesn't give you a clear answer. I know it's a bit of a, a bit of a fluffy answer, so to speak, but it's really the best I can do. Thanks, Chris. Thanks for the question. How did I figure it out? Thank you very much. Bart, you send me an ice cream cone. What does that mean? I want to find out from people what that means. If you send me an ice cream cone, doesn't mean I can go to the shop and pick up an ice cream. I see we get all these gifter badges and they say you can get this, that, and the other. Hey man, I would rather like money. Can I give you my bank account? It's hot here. But it is. Are you in the same place as me? Me in Cape Town. Because it is hot here. It has been a pretty hot day all day long. Okay, let's see. Bethel from Pretoria. You told us you're from Pretoria, mate. What do you do in Pretoria? Peter Bello. Good evening and goodbye. That was a quick check-in. Oh, Bod, in Cotonou, Benin. Man, that is way far from here. Let's see something here. Benin. Where the heck is Benin? Cotonou, Benin. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, mate, yeah. No, look, I can understand why you are. And now that I see exactly where it is. Yeah, North Africa, ish, brother. Rather you than me. Hopefully you are close to the sea, so hopefully you can go and catch a bit of a dip in the ocean. Yes, Bart, I kind of assumed that you're South African, and you're obviously working there in North Africa, which is fantastic. How do you like it there? My dad used to work in Ghana for a number of years. He was there and he worked as a, what do they call these guys? Geologist. I needed to find a word. And yeah, he still hasn't lost his tan after all these years. Niles, hi Corne, does tax paid during divorce settlement to X affect tax on my third when I retire? No. It's not going to affect it, Mels, because when you take the money in a divorce and you withdraw it, you are taking it as a withdrawal. So you pay withdrawal tax. So any pension you build up in a different pension fund, when you get to retirement, then you will get the retirement scales that they use. So it will not affect your third when you retire. So the better option with money that you get from a divorce settlement is to transfer that to a preservation fund. Then there's no tax implication. It helps to increase your pension at retirement. You still get your 550,000 tax-free on your 1/3, but you then have a lot more money that you can use for an actual income in retirement, and especially for divorced couples. It is so important to protect as much of their capital as possible. It's unbelievable the big financial impact that divorce has on people. It takes them really long to recover, and I don't think anybody ever really 100% recovers from a divorce, not financially in any case. Rowan, I have a question regards to two-pot invested pot with resignation. Come on, Rowan. Why do you want to punish me, man? Yes, see. Why do we want to go to two-pot tonight? Ask your question, mate. Let's see if I can answer it. But you've been doing that for 20 years, mate. I take my hat off to you. I don't even like being outside of South Africa for 20 days, never mind 20 years. Bart just say, how do I know my RA is doing well compared to other RA? So it's pretty simple, Bart. If you have a financial advisor, okay, or even if you don't, if you want to speak to a financial advisor, they can draw the information on your retirement annuity from the company that you're dealing with. Then they can go and see, the company can actually send them the retirement premiums that you've paid in, or the lump sums that you paid in, and then what the investment value is now. So that's the first barometer. You can see I paid in 100,000 Rand and my RA is worth 150,000 Rand. So that you can use as a quick visual to see if it's doing well or not. The second thing, which is much more accurate, obviously, is then to go and make use of what we call a fund graphing. So you go and take, the financial advisor, myself, go and take the portfolio that you invested in. So let's say it's Allan Gray Balance Fund. I go put it into the system. I say that you started paying your retirement annuity on the 1st of January 2000. And it is now, we are in 2024. And that thing immediately shows me what that fund has done over that specific period of time that you were invested. And then what one can do is you can go and plot 1 or 2 extra portfolios against it. Let's say you make use of an Investec Balance Fund and an Old Mutual Balance Fund. You can go and plot them, as well as you can go and put in CPI. That shows exactly what the inflation was over the same period of time. And then it actually gives you a graph to show you how your portfolio is compared to other portfolios and inflation. And that will give you a very specific idea of how it compares to other retirement annuities. But yeah, if one has been in the industry for a number of years, it's normally pretty easy to have that immediate look and see if it's decent or if it's not. There is, however, one thing, Bart, and that is that I can show you the fund returns and tell you if you've had good fund returns on that portfolio. But what I don't know and what I can't tell you is if your investment is done well, because you might have been investing for 3 years, you were contributing 2,000 Rand a month, then you stopped investing for a couple of years, then you made a couple of lump sum injections. You know, it was like ad hoc and irregular. And when it's like that, then it's very difficult to determine whether the investment is actually doing well or not, because you've got different time periods for different amounts. And yeah, then it becomes a bit of a nightmare. Then you kind of have to believe what you see. Mel, it's my pleasure. I hope I answered the question. Rowan, you know why I said what I said about two-part, mate? Mookie, do white people have issues as no? Does it affect your skin? Oh, that is the best. Mookie, I love you to bits. That is absolutely the best question. I don't know. The amount of snow I've seen in my life won't affect me in any case. So I don't know. Oh, Mookie, great. Please hang around, ask more questions like that. That was hilarious. Oh, gee, that is good. Assassin, something like that. Mookie and Assassin, you two are great. Brilliant question, brilliant answer. My job is done here. Yes, that was funny. Oh man. Oh, now I'm glad I actually did this. I want the McFlurry now. Is that something from McDonald's? Oh, is it? Apparently it is. Sorry. I haven't had McDonald's in, I don't know, forever. I think I've had McDonald's twice in my life. Yeah, now we saw on McDonald's as an issue. Any guys, oh man, Mookie, Assassin, you have made my night. Yes, Assassin, I am pretty healthy. I do the cheat thing every now and again, and I have a couple of beers or a whiskey. And yes, I enjoy having something sweet every now and again, but I would say I am 90% healthy. And when I say 90% healthy, I try and eat healthy. I train quite a lot. So yeah, all is good. Fun, only if snow is black. Oh no, oh goodness gracious, I'm gonna have to stop this live event tonight. There's trouble coming here. Fun. Assassin, you seem to be a healthy guy as well. It's normally just healthy people that ask other healthy people. Oh my goodness. Not! Oh no, brother. Come on, man. Shall I send you a training program? An eating program? Oh no. How can you do that? Assassin says he's eat fast food every day. Gee. Here's one way of shortening your lifespan. Gino, you think there's a ghost behind me? Sorry, no, it's just the fact that the sun is right behind me, and I know it's not the best vision for you guys, but yeah, I just needed a bit of sun on my back. I've been stuck behind a desk all day, and I just needed to get a bit of sun while there is no sun. Okay, is it advisable to withdraw from the two-pot even if you still have 20 years before retirement? Mr. T? Mate, I have made, I checked today, almost 1,200 videos up until now. And I think in 20% of those videos, I tell people it is never to draw money, never good to draw money from a two-pot system. It does not matter if you've got 1 year left or if you've got 40 years left. It is never good to draw money from the two-pot system. You are stealing money from your own future self. You are stealing money from the person that needs to turn 55, 60 or 65 and retire and have a pension fund. So no, it is never good. You pay tax, a shitload of tax, which you should not be paying. You're losing capital that you need at retirement, and you're losing all the growth that you will be getting. Go and do a simple calculation. Go and take 30,000 Rand, work out what's 10% of that. That's 3,000 Rand, okay? That's year one. Year two, 33,000 Rand plus 10%, that's 3,300. That's year two. Go and do that calculation for 20 years. 3,000, 3,300, 3,600. And you are going to get a scary amount of money that you lose if you draw money from your pension fund via the two-pot system. Sorry, cannot say that it's good. I eat cake. Assassin, enjoy, brother. Enjoy. Gina reckons there's a ghost because the sliding door is closed. Gina, it is because of the people that I'm staying with here in Cape Town. They have graciously allowed their dining room for me tonight, so I can sit and do this live with all of you, and don't have to sit in a room all by myself. So yeah, this is the gentleman that's going in and out to sort out stuff on the outside. His name is Johan. And he and Leonore has graciously allowed me to stay here. I still need to find a way to pay them. So those gifts that we were talking about, no ice creams, money, Jonas, money. Yes, JMF is the ghost indeed. Oh my good. Almiro. Hello, Almiro. How's it, brother? Yes, Mr. T, stay away from that. It is a trap. It's a bad trap. Assassin, you're on a roll. You must become a stand-up comedian, brother. Bart says, should I stop my life insurance, 60-year-old, but have 2 life policies? So Bart, here's the thing. If you've got 2 life policies, if you don't need it, and when I say you don't need it, it means you've got no financial dependents that will benefit from that life cover, and it's just costing you money, then yes, I suppose you can stop your life policies, because there's life policies and life covers there for financial dependents. It's people that you want to look after, leave a legacy to, help with money in the event that you're not dead. So if you don't need that anymore, then absolutely, why pay for it? But, and this is the big but, if you have children and you want to give them the biggest present, the biggest gift you can ever give them, Bart, then you go to your kids and you say to them, here's a life policy that I've paid for X amount of years. I've got X amount of life cover on it. I'm going to cancel it, but I'm going to give you the option that I will cede the policy to you. So you become the owner. And other than about the fact that you become the owner, you start paying the premiums. And let your children then start paying your life policy premiums. It doesn't matter if you live for another 30 years, Bart. They will never save up as much money with the premiums that they will be paying on that life cover of yours. They will never save us as much money as they will get from the life cover. So what I mean by that is, if they are going to pay a premium of 1,000 Rand a month and they get 1 million Rand life cover that pays out when you pass away, Over 40 years, that 1,000 Rand a month is never going to ever add up to R1,000,000. And as a matter of fact, the 1,000 Rand plus growth will most probably not ever get there. So you give that to your children, you tell them to start paying it, you give them best investment they can ever have. But if you don't have that, hey, I know of people that bought each other's life insurance policies because they can see the value in it. But if you don't have anybody and you don't need it, yeah, then cancel it. Why pay for something that you don't need? Okay, let's see, Eddie. Eddie, if you already take your Provident Fund 20 years ago, will you pay tax on your Provident Fund now? Yes, Eddie, you will. It doesn't matter when you have taken a Provident Fund or pension fund or anything like that in the past. When you get to retirement and you've got another fund that you're going to retire from, you will pay tax again, depending on the way in which you took the previous fund. Because if you took it as a retrenchment, then the retirement rules would have applied. If you took it as withdrawal, you would have paid tax based on withdrawal rules. So if you took your Provident Fund 20 years ago and you paid your withdrawal tax, then now if you take the new Provident Fund, you will pay tax based on the retirement scale. So it depends on how you're going to take it, but tax you will pay if there's tax payable, unless the fund is less than 550,000 Rand and you can actually take everything without paying any tax. Good evening, Zeus. Thank you, Lisa. Is that a legal process of passing premium over to children? No, Assassin, it's not. It's literally a session form that needs completion. So it's a document that you sign whereby both parties agree that I give my ownership over to you. And then it's a change of debit order. It's as easy as that. There's no legal contract, nothing like that needs to be done. Lisa, can I open life cover for my mother? Yes, you can indeed. As long as your mother is happy to sign the document and as long as she's happy to go for the medicals that will be required, then absolutely you can. Depending which company you go with, most companies end the entry age at which you can get life cover at either age 70 or 75. So as long as your mother is under the age of 75, you can do that with her approval and her signature. Thank you, Bart. I'm very happy to know that was good advice. I'm happy to know that. Hi, Dumazani. How can I help you, sir? Is there any specific question? Folks, let me see. 636. Okay. We'll give it another 10 minutes and then I'm going to have to duck and dive. Make it a bit earlier tonight. Oh, it's a pleasure, Lisa. I really hope that when I give advice that it is of value to people. So, great. I talk about if I take, is that 100,000 Rand or is that 1,000,000? 1, 2, 3, that looks like 100, and leave the other to pay out monthly. So, Eddie, okay, so let's get back to that question you had on the Provident Fund. So, if you're going to take 100,000 Rand, anything you take less than 550,000 Rand, okay, will be tax-free. And that's, of course, of the 1/3 portion we're talking about. If you withdraw the entire amount, once again, you will be taxed from Rand 1 because then you're not retiring from it, you're resigning. In your example, if you take 100,000 Rand and you haven't taken any pension, provident or retirement annuity funds in the past, full 100,000 will be tax-free. The rest will then start paying you a monthly income. So, Eddie, what I normally advise people to do is if they have, let's say you've got 1.5 million Rand, I'll say take the 500,000 Rand because you know it's going to be tax-free. Do an investment such as life investment where the growth is, and the money that you get out of the investment is after-tax money. And then you get income on the 1 million Rand. So because it's a lower income, you pay lower taxes. The 500,000 is a life investment because it's after-tax money. It's after-tax income. And you've got a much better income structure for yourself going into the future. Instead of paying tax on the income that you get from 1.5 million, you pay tax on the income you get from 1 million Rand. Lower income, lower tax. Other side, still getting the capital, still getting the income, not paying tax. Great combination. How safe is a fixed deposit? Marianne, fixed deposit is as strong as the bank that it's invested in with. So I would say if you look at your top 4 in South Africa, Nedbank, First National, Absa, Standard Bank, perfect, no problem. Capitec is getting there. Other banks, I'm not too sure. And the reason why I say it's as strong as the bank you're with, think back of the old United and Allied and Sambo. All of those banks have closed down. Their fixed deposits went with them. And when I say they went with them, other banks took it over, but they did not necessarily honor the fixed deposit interest rate. And Marianne, quite frankly, I'm not a big fan of fixed deposits because the interest rate that you get on them, I believe, can be beaten by most insurance companies, by most investment houses. And even if it's not, even if you just get the same growth as what you get in the fixed deposit, you're still gonna be better off with the investment house, because the return you get there is after tax money. On a fixed deposit, you still have to pay tax on the interest. I hope that answers it for you, Marianne. Are these general questions, or can we ask for advice based on our situations? So Nexus, this is basically general. I don't mind answering your personal questions. I just don't think anybody wants to spill the beans on their personal stuff. So yeah, you can ask a personal question. I'll try and answer you. But to be very honest with you, Nexus, the only way for me to give proper advice to anybody is to sit down and have a consultation. I know people think it's as easy as what is the best investment, where's the best ROI, whatever the case might be. There's a lot of information I need on people. I need to know your age, I need to know your financial dependence, how much assets, liabilities you have, what's your income, what are you saving for, what do you want to accomplish one day, what's your debt situation. There's a lot of stuff that I have to go and look at before I can just give advice to somebody. Because if I don't have all the advice and you say to me, listen, what is the best retirement annuity for me to take out? And I say to you, okay, go to company X and pay 1,000 Rand a month there. And I just tell you that, that's already been seen as advice. But if I do that, and I don't know your situation, and if I looked at your situation, I realized, but you're already paying enough on retirement annuities, you're already getting the maximum tax rebates and, then it's extremely bad advice. Because better advice would have been a different investment with a different tax approach and different portfolios. Serial Ninja, thoughts on buying shares in unit trust? Unit trust or shares, doesn't matter. If you want to buy it, buy and hold. Don't buy and sell. The only people that buy and sell shares are stockbrokers who's trying to make the quick buck over the short term. They're the people that get the heart attacks and the strokes and the ulcers because of the stress they go through. For the normal man in the street that invests, pick a unit trust or share that's in line with the risk appetite that you have, meaning how risky you are willing to go with that. Buy it, hold it as long as possible. Buying shares and unit trust is not a quick buck, and it's not to be gambled with, so to speak. Koolkos eter. Koolkos eter, jy is seker van die Kaap. Hi sir, does the same third withdrawal from RA apply at 55 retirement as at 65? Yes. It doesn't matter whether you go on 55 or any age thereafter. Okay? Doesn't matter. You always get that same rules that applies with regards to 1/3, how much is tax free, what the sliding scale is, what the income tax will be on income. After the age of 65, the income, the tax that you pay on the income is a little bit lower, because after the age of 65, you get a second rebate, as they call it, in terms of your taxes, which brings your tax bracket down. But the same withdrawal and retirement rules apply irrespective of your age. If you say you already signed, that's fine, mate. You have time to reverse your decision. You can contact the company and say to them, listen, this is not what I want to do anymore. I've rethought about it, and you can cancel. As a matter of fact, what people don't know is that once you have done investments, retirement annuities, life policies, it doesn't matter. There's a 30-day cool-off period, okay? There's a 30-day cool-off period after that product that you've taken has issued. So even if it's issued, even if they've already implemented for you, you've got 30 days in which you can write a letter and say, cancel, reverse this whole thing, I don't want to do it. So if you don't want to do what you have done and you want to change it, Eddie, contact whoever has been helping you and tell them just stop the bus. Put everything on hold. I'm rethinking this exercise. Thanks, Assassin. You have a great evening as well. Cheers, mate. I haven't paid tax because I earn foreign currency. Legally, where will fall in tax bracket? So, Bart, yes, I know with you guys that work outside the borders of South Africa, when you don't get the tax relief because of the income you're earning. So if you are paying towards your retirement annuity, even though you are not working in South Africa, you can't get the tax rebate. But all of those contributions rolls over to retirement. So I would assume that you would come back to South Africa at some stage. Even if you don't and you stay offshore and you're going to take an income there once you retire one day, the retirement funds, it's seen as if you are retiring in South Africa. So that means that you don't only get then 550,000 tax-free at retirement on your 1/3. You will get every rand that you've contributed that you couldn't deduct from tax over the period of time. You will get all of that as part of your 1/3 tax-free. So let's assume for 1 second that the amount of money you're going to have is 6 million rand. So you can take 2 million rand as your 1/3. Now they take all those contributions that you've never used as a rebate. They add it onto the 550 and they say, okay, you can have all of this tax free. So now it goes a bit further. On 6 million rand, you get 2 million rand, you get it all tax free. But there's still 1 million rand that you've contributed that once again you haven't had the rebate of. Then they say, okay, great. So out of the 4 million, you're going to start taking an income. We are not going to tax you basically on the first million income because we are still going to give you that rebate from over the years. So even though you are not in South Africa, you will first of all have a much bigger tax break than the person that has used these rebates on a yearly basis. And then tax bracket, as you're talking about, then when you've exhausted your tax-free portions, if I could call it that, then only will a tax bracket be determined based on the income that you will earn. So it doesn't matter how much the capital amount is, it's then how much income you earn that will decide what tax bracket will be. Okay, Bart, hope that helps. 15% returns, is it high or low to invest into? Kitso, if you can get 15%, it is a brilliant return on investment. Not many investments that give that, and normally pretty high risk investments if you do go with one of those. So yeah, just be careful should you go that way. Let's see here. Pleasure, Marianne. 2.3 mil, I will get 148 for the rest of my life. Yeah, Eddie, on 2.3 million rand, you are looking at 750,000 that you can get tax-free. 750 plus minus, so the first 550 will be tax-free. The next 220 will be taxed at 27%, 18%. So if you withdraw that, and then you are left with 1.7 million, and you start drawing an income, you're going to get a much lower income, better tax bracket on 148,000 rand. If that is all you are going to get, then you should not have a problem with tax, because your tax rebates or whatever should sort you out. You might have a small tax that you're going to pay. But if you're going to earn 148,000 for the rest of your life, then that might be a problem, because a bread is not going to be 20 rand next year. If a bread is 20 rand today, I'm not sure. In any case. So if a bread is 20 rand today, in 5 years, it's going to be 30 or 35 rand. So if you still get 14,800 rand 5 years from now, you might have... Oh, sorry, Eddie. 14,800, that gives us 148,000, 150, 60... Now, that's closer to 186,000 in income. So you're definitely going to fall into an 18 or 26% tax bracket, depending on what rebate you have. So yeah, Eddie, if you do take the 1/3, I think you're going to have a good tax situation, tax-free situation. The income might be lower, but that will bring you into a lower tax bracket. Only problem I have with the quick scenario I see of yours is if you only get that 14,800 for the rest of life, that's a problem. One should be considering a different income plan that's actually going to give you a bit of an increase. Okay. Do you get interest tax also on money market? Yes, Lisa, absolutely. If you invested in the money market, it's interest that you're earning. Because you're earning interest, you're getting taxed on it based on the interest rate taxes. Do you have an open position? I want to work within finance. Kitso, we are always looking for financial advisors, but you need qualifications, mate. You're welcome to contact me. You've got my WhatsApp number in the profile. I'll explain to you what you need in order to be in the industry, and I can guide you as to where you can go. I don't have open positions, so to speak, for new people into the market. It's a lot of training, a lot of time, and it's not something that we really have capability for in our company. But you're more than welcome to chat to me. I'll explain to you how everything works, and hey, who knows? Maybe you are one of those 1 in 100 people that just has all the fire I need in somebody, and then I will take a chance on you. So could I tell me, how can you advise one to finish paying off bond earlier than the expected date? Zeus, very easy, mate. If your bond repayment is 5,000 Rand a month, pay 5,500. If you get a bonus at the end of the year, take your bonus and put it in there. If you need to sacrifice your McDonald's burgers and rather eat something healthy, then you do that, you put the difference into your bond. There's so many ways to do it. The only problem is that people don't work on a budget, they don't have self-discipline, and they're not willing to make sacrifices. And you must do those 3 things. You do those 3 things, you pay your bond off quicker, you save more for retirement, you'll be a much happier person, much happier than 80 to 90% of the population who's always worried about debt. Plezier. Zeus, good question. Personally, I could not afford it. I would make 1 double payment per year. There's about 20 additional payments throughout the bond period. Well, that's good. Oops. 20 additional throughout the bond period, just my opinion. Absolutely 100% right, Mr. JMF. True speaker, hello, I'm open my way. You're not, but I'm about to log off. I should have gone 5 minutes ago, and I'm still stuck here because I always want to try and help everybody. Wanderlust, what is the average return percentage after all brokerage costs and other costs? Depends on the type of investment that you are in. Depends on the type of portfolio. If you are invested in a portfolio such as a money market fund, or a low risk income fund, or a stable fund, you can expect a return of 6.5 to 7.5%. If you invested in a medium risk fund or balanced type fund, you're looking at anything between 8 to 10%. If you are invested in a high risk fund, and especially the global equity funds are doing very well at the moment, you're looking at anything between 11 to 14%. So it all depends on the portfolio that you're invested in, how much risk you're willing to take. There is unfortunately never a straight line with this, because it changes as markets change. If we knew that this fund is going to give us 14% return every year for the next 30 years, everybody will be invested in it. But that's life. We never know. We go with what we see, what we learn, and what we believe. M&M, can I buy a monthly before 55 and take tax free? Can I buy a monthly annuity before 55 tax? No. No, M&M, you cannot buy a monthly annuity before 55 and then take the tax-free 550 once you reach 55. You must be 55 or older to do that. Okay. Sorry, mate, that's just the way the rules work. Odex, what will you do if you have 50 million bucks lying around to get maximum returns? Oh man, what will I do? Most probably not be doing TikTok live. Odex, there is such a wide variety of investments. But I think the first thing I will do is I'll put that 50 million rand in the bank, and I'll go and have a holiday for about 6 weeks. Seriously. Because you want to just get over this euphoria of all this money that you have. You first have to get used to the idea. Then once you're used to the idea, then we have to sit down. We have to see what that 15 million rand must do for you. Because if you've got 50 million rand, you don't need an income and you can just let it grow for whenever. Then you can go and work out the most spectacular portfolios for yourself. But if you have to put that 50 million somewhere and it has to give you a massive income, then you have to be careful about how to do that. If you have to do a combination of the two, then you have to go and figure out what will work best. So for some people, 500,000 rand is a lot of money. For other people, 500 million is not a lot of money. So it depends on what your need is and what you need to get out of the 50 million rand that you will invest. So very open question, Odex, because the more you have, the more variety and choice you have with what you want to do. Bart, I'm very happy to hear that, mate. I've been saying for time, now I'm getting divorced. She's taking yeah, mate, true speaker, I'm sorry, but we've had a number of videos lately about that, a lot of questions. Oh, Fawn, careful, brother, careful. Fawn, you will be number one suspect. Amogalang, no, I can't book you. You can contact me via my WhatsApp number, and then I'll explain to you how I work when it comes to appointments. And then we can decide from there if we're going to make a booking and when and where. Okay, so yeah, I can't just book you. Mate, lots of people want to speak to me. It's not that easy. I'm pretty much booked up for 2 weeks in advance. Thanks, Kevin. I'm doing well. True seeker, it is normal in our country, so why worry? Yeah, mate. Okay, ladies and gents, I have actually overstayed my welcome. I wanted to be out of here 10 minutes ago. I know that I'm going to have to rush to what I need to do now. Thank you very much once again for tonight. As always, it's been fun talking to you guys. To those people that asked questions, thank you very much. To those that I gave answers to and who thanked me and said it was great advice, thank you very much. And contact me. Let's have a chit chat. All the best. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.